One. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stoverload Music Podcast. It's our showcase, and today is the holiday special. And if you know me by now, I like to bring something special to you guys once in a great while. And being the holiday, and I'm so thankful for really great music, I came across a band that got me massively hooked, and it only took one song to do it. So my guests today, you might have seen them on Facebook. Their fan base, their followers are increasing by the thousands by the day. They're known as KrashKarma. So I want you to welcome my guests today, Ralph and Nikki.
Hello.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Full and stuffed.
Much like everybody else. They're probably watching this while they're digesting right now.
Definitely.
I think the first thing in store is congratulations on all the momentum you guys have and all the success that's coming your way. You've got a massive, massive fan base.
Thanks.
We've
It's
been
growing.
We've been working on it for a few years. Yes.
And I've never seen anybody incorporate a skateboard with speakers on it while shredding all at the same time.
That's what a pandemic did to us.
You did that during the pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, we had a whole year planned. We had almost a world tour, like the United States, Europe, everything planned, and everything just fell through. So we were at home having ideas how we could just utilize the time and come up with some crazier shit. And that's what happened. That was one of the ideas.
When you're sitting on your couch, everything seems possible. And then we're like, let's just go try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I have a little shop, so I just build crazy stuff.
At least you guys stayed busy, though, because a lot of artists, they kind of hit some blocks during that time, and it was hard to rebound. But I'm glad to see you guys were like many bands who stayed productive and stayed creative.
Definitely.
I mean, for us, it was a choice to make. If we go the Patreon route, and get a few dedicated followers who pay us money every month, or if we stay away and just try to make content and expand our fan base. That's what we chose to do. So we said, we don't want your money. We just want to expand and reach as many people as we can during the pandemic. Because I knew everybody was sitting at home and trying to entertain themselves. So that was the horse we were betting on, and it worked out.
It worked out very well. You guys put out amazing music. And like I said earlier, it only took one song of yours for me to get hooked. And I had to go, yeah, I got to get these guys on the show.
What song was it?
Bury Me Alive.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Very good.
And I had questions about that video because I was watching it. And I can't imagine that shooting it in the desert, it had been pretty brutally hot.
It was awful.
I mean, if you know us, our budget for a video is going to be $100. That's what we try to get away with. So
yeah, we're very DIY.
Exactly, but this time I think like the wedding dress already costed $100. So we spent a little more, but we were close to $100. At the end, it was a one-day shoot, and it was super hot. And there's a lot of stuff that happened, from a flat tire to getting our van stuck in the desert at the very end. And if you look at
walking 2 miles in high heels at night,
we couldn't get the van. We couldn't get the van back out of that hole. We drove it in. And so we had to leave it overnight and walk back to our Airbnb in the desert at night. And we had to carry all this gear back from where we shot to the van. And if you watch the video at the very end, I think it's almost like, 10 seconds before the video ends, you see a little Easter egg. You see me with a shovel trying to get a van out. It's just one clip that I put in. It's just like half a second long. But
now that you know it, you'll see it.
Now that you know it, watch the video again. At the very end, you see me with a shovel, and that was real.
I saw a lot of clips in there. I don't know what kind of snake it was coming out, but I have to assume that was not something you filmed.
No.
No, we almost got bit by that snake, but we escaped.
We escaped narrowly.
We have snakes. We have nice rattlesnakes in California.
That was a rattler?
That was a rattler.
All right, look, not the rattler I'm used to seeing, because that one looked like it had like horns or something on the front of them.
That was like one of those not well-known devil rattlesnakes that are in the area where we shot the video.
Don't listen to this guy.
You need an anti-venom and a priest for an exorcism.
Yes.
That was the next day,
No, but that video was definitely crazy. We tried to call AAA to get us out of that hole. But in order, the van is not being in the shot, I had to drive it behind a little hill. And so I left the road, and there was just straight up sand. So we got stuck, and the AAA wouldn't come and rescue us.
They were like, yeah, you're on your own.
You're off the road? Sorry, you're on your own. So we drove 1 hour to a Home Depot, and I bought like some stepping stones and wood planks. And the next day, with a jack, we got the van on those wood planks, and then we put those stones and created a little pathway. How we got to get back on the road.
Yeah,
Took
2
us-
hours later.
Took us a few hours, but we got it back on the road.
Jeez, I hate to see how the cleaning must have been afterwards, having to get all
Oh,
the
man.
sand out of the car.
Well, there's still sand in the car.
Yeah, it's never ending.
Gotta have some memories, huh?
Yes, but we also go surfing, so there's always sand from the beach in the van anyway. So the sand is a part of the van.
Yeah, sand life. There's no life in the van without sand.
That sounds like something we might put into a song one of these days.
Yeah, right.
Has a nice little rhyme to it. You know, I can only imagine because how good your music is. It seems like you guys are very seasoned and you've been doing this for a long time.
That's right.
Mhm.
We old school.
So for all the new fans and all the new listeners that are following, how did you guys come to meet up and make this band and do this?
Well, we met at the NAMM show in Anaheim a few years ago, and we were always a 4-piece band, but since we traveled a lot, it was always difficult to get members from the United States to Europe, to Germany, where I'm from, and then from Europe back to the United States. So we shrank it down to 3 people. And when we had a song on the radio and had a big tour coming up, on the first day of the tour, our bass player had a problem with his back, so we had to fly him to LA. So we were stranded as a 2-piece. Then I built this crazy guitar that can put out bass and guitar at the same time. And that's when the journey for the band really started.
That was in 2015.
15, yeah.
Yeah. And
I did
we,
see that video when you created that guitar, and I'm like, this guy's a genius.
He's a mad scientist.
Thanks. I mean, it's work in progress always.
Yeah.
You know, you're an artist. You try to carve out your path, and that was one of the things we had to do in order to keep going. And once we went that way, it seemed just logical that KrashKarma is a 2-piece and not a 4-piece.
You guys complement each other so well.
Thank you.
So when did you guys start deciding on like when it came to like the vocals? Because I love how you guys bounce back and forth and you harmonize with one another. When did you guys figure out that was the way to go?
When we
That
turned
was
it
that,
when we
yeah.
turned it to a 2-piece, Nikki always said songs that she was singing, but she was always in the back. So once we turned it to a 2-piece, it was obvious that we're gonna put the drum kit on the front of the stage, and Nikki has to sing half the songs. And this is when we started bouncing off of each other and feeding off each other, and that's when we really incorporated heavily that I'm not gonna be the main singer anymore. Nikki's gonna do half the lifting.
Yes, our whole writing style changed drastically when this happened, and we had to think about the show. We had to think about the elements of the live performance, and then just what we could do as 2 people, and that meant sharing the vocals. So that was a big evolution in the band. Was when we became the 2-piece. That definitely changed our whole style, and it morphed into the monster that we are now.
And again, it's beautiful and it's awesome, amazing work. I mean, I love a band that can put out awesome melodic melodies, but also have some riffs and some banging ass music that's just you're just happy with no matter what you're listening to, really.
Oh man, you're
Nice.
gonna love our new album you're finishing up right now.
Yes.
That has some juicy riffs. It's gonna be badass.
We're definitely looking forward to it. And you know, one of the things I wanted to ask you, Ralph, was that in Bury Me Alive, there was this scene where Nikki was holding your head in a cage.
Yes.
How many shots did it take for that to get accomplished?
Oh, it took longer to get my head back on my shoulders again.
He's still the wounds are still healing.
Yeah, the scars are deep.
Yeah, you can't see the stitch marks anymore.
No, it's this way, but those dreadlocks, you know, they hide all my scars.
Would you guys do you do all your own filming too and your own directing, or do you have a company that works with you?
No, usually we have like 1 or 2 or 3 guys that do the filming for us. We call the people that we know, or we find somebody on Craigslist. And like I said, our budget is $100, so it's usually like half a day of filming, and I direct everything and I edit everything.
Wow, so everything really is in-house.
Mhm. Yep.
Well, on to the next one then, because I was watching Wake Up, and that's another badass song right there.
Thank you.
I mean, you had me cracking up when it started off like I was watching a Drake video when Nikki
Yeah.
jumped out the car. Then right when you hit that drum set, you jumped into YouTube Jam, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, here we go.
And how it started was we were on tour right before our album Morph came out, and we knew we need to promote the albums with something. So we had a day off at a hotel room, and then we saw that whole Drake dance challenge. And then originally we wanted to just do a little cover of that Drake song, but since we were on tour, we had nowhere to record. So we said, you know what, let's just do that same idea, but we use our song, and then we can just push the album. That was just a stupid little idea that we had.
Somewhere in Wyoming.
So we did it somewhere on the side of the road. I don't know where.
In Wyoming.
And we uploaded it and went viral really quick.
Yeah, it did.
That was the first video where we had like 1 million hits. I remember this because some metal page picked it up, posted it, and all of a sudden it blew up. Like, wow. So we knew we had to do a music video for the song. And what better intro than using that original footage that we did. So that's how that's why that intro is the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to ask you, Nikki, you know, I know you were just playing around in the video. Was it hard? Because you're a rocker at heart, I could tell. But was it hard to try and act out like you were a rap star fan or something like that in that one little scene? Or was it just you goofing around?
I mean, yes and yes, both. It was definitely hard to jump out of the van and get it all timed properly and do the little dance moves and make it look cute and then sit down and rock the drums. You know, it was definitely it took a couple takes before we got it correct.
So what'd you do? Drive around the block or just back up and do it all over again?
Yeah.
Yep, back up and do it again.
I mean, it wasn't easy because I had to drive and film the whole thing and line up the music and do everything. And we had to, for those who haven't seen the video yet, for the people who are listening, it's basically a song starts, but Nikki's on the passenger seat and we drive slowly down the road. Nikki opens the door, starts dancing and walking.
Jumps out, starts dancing.
And right
walking,
as the song starts, Nikki starts playing drums on a drum kit that's on the street. And so that had to be timed perfectly. So it took a few takes before we got that.
And add some dance moves in the middle.
Can you only imagine if people were standing around or walking by and they just saw this going on? Like, did they stop and watch? Like, what are they doing?
Yes.
Oh, we have that all the time with all the videos we do. People are always watching, like, what's happening right now?
Have you seen this video that we just uploaded where Nikki is playing the drums in the convertible? I mean, playing Highway to Hell.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that. I thought that was awesome because I don't see nobody doing that anymore.
So and everybody asks us, yeah, you got towed. Who's driving? And I was actually driving the car. Like I said, we spend $100 tops on a video. A towing truck is way more than this. So
that's not happening.
Originally, we wanted to shoot this in the desert where there's no cars. You know, I can just like coast with the car.
Right.
So, but we said, you know what, we need to test this out before we go to the desert and shoot this video. So let's test it out in Los Angeles where we live. So we did this in our neighborhood. And once we filmed it, I mean, I was just driving, you know, with my fucking knee and playing the guitar. And we filmed it and said, that looks good enough. We don't need to go to the desert. So we just used a test shot actually for this video. But no one believes that I'm driving.
We had a GoPro taped to the hood of the car, you know, so that was what was getting was filming us. So people were just like, what is happening? We have this whole bike path right by where we were doing it, and everyone was just stopping and filming us, and it was pretty funny.
That definitely created a little more of a people were, what the hell?
What's happening right now?
Yeah.
Did you have like a big sticker on the side of the car that said KrashKarma or something like that? That way they knew the band?
Yeah, right? That's a good idea, but no.
I mean, after this felt like, our name is KrashKarma. We're driving basically with no hands on the steering wheel and playing a song in LA. It's definitely the right song for the band.
Definitely.
You're definitely watching out for the police too while you're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
That was my biggest fear. It's like, if the cops pull me over right now, I'm going to be sitting there with a guitar and Nikki with a drum kit, and we just
I'm like sitting on the back of the car with a drum kit, like
coasting on it. That would have been
can't
really
be legal.
This would have been really awkward.
You probably could have talked your way out of it. Promised them like a free CD. They could be part of the video. You know what I mean? They probably could have got out of it.
Like, I'm from Germany. That's normal. That's how we drive our
This is what
cars.
we do.
That's what we do on the Autobahn.
Big culture change for you, ain't it, Ralph?
Yeah.
Play the Germany card.
Yeah. You know, like I said, you guys have a very unique, amazing sound. I can only imagine if fans ever like send out personal requests to you, like if they have something they like, or you remind them of one of their favorite bands. What's been like the craziest request you ever had?
What do you mean request? If they ask us to cover a song, or
yes.
You know what? We did this Blackpink cover. It's a K-pop song where we learned Korean, and after that, that was
That was pretty insane.
that was a challenge
Yeah.
just to learn the language alone and then just take that song and make it a metal song. So and after this, we definitely had crazy requests of band that I never even heard of.
Yeah.
There's all these crazy K-pop bands out there.
That wound
Wow.
up they wound up finding us and loving our version of this. So everyone was like, "Oh, you should do BTS or these other like crazy popular Korean bands." And we're like, one was enough.
Yeah,
thank
one
you."
is enough.
Yeah.
Right. If you're gonna do it, keep it in English.
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, we do all kinds of languages.
Yeah.
We did also a Sepultura cover of a Portuguese song, Rata Mahata. So we had to learn Portuguese. And we're working right now on a French song. It's called Poupée de Cire from Franz Gall. So we are, getting our French in order.
it's really hard.
I was listening to your guys' albums, and well, not albums, but I've listened to your music, so
Yeah.
to say. But I've been really hooked on it, and I've also been hooked on a band called Guano Apes as of late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have a song called Lord of Boards that I like, and I was
Yeah.
listening to your work, and I'm like, man, it'd be badass if they did their own cover of that song.
Interesting. I kind of forgot about that band.
That's a cool band,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, we definitely like that band, but you got to be careful. It's like, it's a cool German band that got worldwide success, but it's like covering Nickelback here. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Nickelback really in a video covering this?
Is that a similar thing? That's how
Kind
you
of.
would?
This is
Okay.
how I feel about it.
I don't
But I know the bass
Yeah.
player, Ralph, he's a really cool guy from the band. So
Another Ralph?
yes, another Ralph. He
What?
plays bass, yeah. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about your vocal harmonies and the way that song kicks off, and with your Frankenstein guitar, where you can go back between a bass and an electric, and then Nikki's vocals. I mean, you guys, I would love to
Yeah.
see you guys cover that song. That would be amazing.
You know, but what I want to do is a little more old school. I want to cover a Warlock song.
Warlock?
Warlock.
Yes, Warlock.
Oh, Warlock.
Yeah.
Not familiar with him.
No,
Yeah. I wasn't either.
there would be no Guano Apes without Warlock.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Because I thought
It's this badass chick, a singer with a chick. She's like, she was Lemmy's best friend.
okay.
And they played many shows together. Her name is Doro Pesh. She's playing still as a solo artist. Doro.
Okay, I'll look her up.
Check out, yeah. And her old band was Warlock. That's a cool band.
Warlock, yeah.
Super old school metal.
So I'm curious, what were your inspirations when you were younger before you got to the point where you're at now?
You can
Oh.
start on that one. Ralph
think
started playing at a really young age.
It started with Kiss, AC/DC, and then Iron Maiden, Metallica, Slayer, and thrash metal from there on, and all kinds of punk, then Bad Religion, Sex Pistols, and all the way through the music of distorted guitar.
Nice.
I kind of started out listening to I grew up on the East Coast, so I was into like Beastie Boys and Misfits and Black Flag and Iggy Pop, and my parents were big music buffs too, and they listened to country, classic rock, all that kind of stuff. But when I started playing, I was more into funk. And funk and punk were the two things that I started with, but the bands that I loved back then, going to see concerts, were like 311, Deftones, Incubus, Tool, Korn. All this stuff was coming up at that time. So
Yeah, you guys, as I said, I'm going to keep saying it. You're truly amazing artists. I don't think there's nothing you can't do.
yeah, I like
Thanks.
it.
We always try to challenge ourselves.
Yes.
What do we need to work on to accomplish something? Otherwise, we'll be boring. So
Well,
this-
you like a challenge? Go get a bunch of mirrors, just put them up around a room and just film the mirrors. Don't film you.
I might try this.
We got all kinds of ideas here at this show.
Yes.
Nice.
Just some of them just don't work out.
But you never know till you try.
That's
Yeah.
just true. We're just glad we're on that because that brings me to my next question. We're at a point where we do this thing called "The Floor Is Yours," and I like to give all my artists an opportunity if they want to send a special message or some inspiration to people listening, or just want to send or say anything. What would you like to tell them?
Don't give up and keep it going, and stay true to yourself and do what makes you happy. Figure out what's in your heart, and that's what you want to express. Don't ever let anyone try to take your vision, and just make it your own. Make your music your own. Make your life your own, on your own terms, and follow through. Keep going. Don't give up, even when it's hard. Keep going. That's what I'd like to say to everybody.
Yeah, and maybe keep going is a good advice, but if you don't enjoy the struggle, don't
Yeah.
keep going. Don't do it. There was
If it's not enjoyable, find something else to do.
exactly. In doing art and being an artist and entertainer, you meet some people on the way that are not really enjoying what they're doing. They always expect that they deserve more than what they get, and they try to walk through that golden gate where the manager gives them that big check and they have it made. But that moment will never arrive. It will always a challenge, and you always feel like you need to accomplish more and more. So if you don't get this feeling of satisfaction in the beginning, what you do, you will never reach that. So if you don't enjoy what you do, don't do it. And in our case, for example, for me, music is always was a way to fight depression. So in order not to get depressed, I need to write a song and to do something that challenges me. And music is what I found. So I don't play music for the people necessarily. I play it for myself, not to kill myself, more or less. I mean, it's pretty dark, but that's what it is. I need to reach.
Yeah, but you used it as a tool to fight
Yes,
depression.
it's my tool.
Yeah.
Which is a very good one because I think a lot of people, especially this younger generation, they're coming out the woodwork and they are getting just so very skilled with the guitar at such a very young age. I think they're realizing that music is a very healing gift.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the best thing.
Have you had fans, contact you, thanking you, like something along those lines, to where they were dealing with depression or something, and your music helped them through?
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely. I mean, it's part of what we do. We are a community, and we're aware of the fact that we help each other, and we definitely have mails from people who thank us for helping them.
As much as COVID hurt everybody, I think in one sense it did bring a lot of people together, being able to spend more time checking out bands like you, or being able to interact with you and speak with you. Yeah, I think there was an upside to it.
Absolutely. Yep. And it was like, for us, it was a pretty good upside because we spend a lot of our time on the road, so we actually had to just sit back and be home for a minute and be like, okay, now what do? We have to figure out how to live life in this new way and find a way to still stay inspired, still stay motivated, and accomplish things in a very new way. So, and for me, it was wonderful.
Well, you guys are doing an amazing job, and again, it's a true honor to have you guys on the show. It really is. I mean, there's some bands you come across and you just kind of get hit in the face with a semi truck with how good it is.
Awesome.
So we really enjoy your work here. So, and fans, next week they'll also be on our music special. We have 3 of your tracks that are going to be on there as well.
Nice.
Sweet.
So week 35, KrashKarma will be on our weekly show as well. So you're getting a double dose of them with my show.
Awesome.
Thanksgiving and the week after.
Sweet. And everybody just come to your favorite social media platforms and follow us, add us to your playlists on Spotify. And it's KrashKarma with a K for all of you out there who are trying to look us up. And follow us and we'll be friends forever.
There you go. And I have to assume you guys have a merchandise section somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's on our webpage.
Yeah.
KrashKarma.com, and you'll go to the store and there's all kinds of goodies.
There you go. You guys doing any Black Friday sales?
Yeah, potentially. I'm thinking about it.
Good idea. Black Friday's coming up. Yes, yes. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be a Black Friday sale. Now we announced it. Yes.
It's happening.
It's happening right now.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Go to our webpage right now, type in special code Black Friday, and you get the discount. It's going to be badass.
There you go. I'm glad I could help.
Definitely.
Well, there's also Cyber Monday, too. So everybody orders
no.
online. So,
Yes.
We'll definitely keep it rolling for a week or so. So that's good. Good thing.
Hey, we tell all our fans, when it comes to independent artists like yourself, every dollar spent with a band like you guys is a dollar well spent, because it's.
Yes.
Do you think being a DIY artist is better or more struggling?
It has both sides, really, because it's in one way it's good because you know exactly what you're putting in and what you're getting out, and you can keep track of all the things on you know exactly what's happening. Having a label or anything like that is great because you have a pipeline that already exists, and they can put you into this machine and hopefully it goes, but that doesn't always go. And sometimes people they make bad decisions by signing with people, and it can ruin you. So it really just depends, you know. So you have to have a good team around you if you're going to hire people or work with a label or anything. They have to be for you, with you, on the same page and working together to grow it. Otherwise it can be kind of disastrous, and you see a lot of people just get put on the wayside with labels or things like that, and they don't get the attention that they need. And so you have to, if you do it yourself, you kind of control that narrative, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Right. Does that
Yeah.
happen a lot with
So there's
labels?
pluses and negatives.
Does that happen a
Yes.
lot with bands and labels? Well, labels will just buy up bands and they just won't do anything with them.
Yeah, quite
We-
often.
We,
Yeah.
we hear about it a lot. Yeah.
And then you're under contract, and then you can't do anything, and you have to fight contracts. So instead of making music and doing the things that you love, you have to fight legal problems and do all these other things, and it can ruin you. You know, we've definitely seen a lot of people get burnt in this industry, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, maybe that's why DIY became so much more popular, because you guys you're in control. You make the calls.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work. You know, you have to wear a lot of hats, and you have to, you know, you have to be the booker, you have to be the public, or do all the promoting, make all the merchandise. We do everything ourselves anyway, so we're like the perfect kind of band to be DIY, because we have a awesome producer. He's kind of a genius in all things he touches. So we got really lucky in that, and not everybody can do that. Not everyone has that, you know, drive or ability, you know. So we're very lucky and very thankful that we can do it ourselves in this way, and it's pretty sweet.
Guys, for anybody out there who's an aspiring musician, there's a lot of knowledge to learn within everything she just said. So if you are new in a band, take notes. This is good things to know.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not a walk in the park, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, Ralph being the genius that he is, I mean, you know, I'm glad to see all those stitch marks healed up on your neck. You know, you can tell he's doing a great job. Inside joke.
Yes.
Well, but you know, that guitar you created, you know, there's definitely a big market for skills like that.
I mean, it requires skills to play this, and I always feel like, should I maybe build some and sell them, or have my own custom guitar? Because I work with ESP, and let's just watch the market, see what happens. If you get super successful, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make my own signature model. But right now, 24 hours in a day, what do I need to do? I need to play, tour, produce, travel in order to play. There's no time right now. And then I feel like, yeah, I could make some money, but it's not really about the money. It's about the music.
Right.
So when I get bored, I might make some of those guitars and sell them. But for
he
now,
gets a lot of people asking about it now. So
for now, it's like,
it's coming.
If it was about the money, I wouldn't do what I do to begin with. And if I can choose my battles, I'd rather play music than build guitars.
Well, you like a challenge. I'd like to see you pull that off with a double neck guitar.
That would be cool. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, but the
Wow.
question would the double neck be? Another bass or 12 string or 10 string?
Well, you're the mad scientist.
Yes,
you tell us.
Right? Yeah.
But you need to
Get
see us.
on it.
You need to see us on stage. I jump around a lot. So to jump around with with a double neck, that's gonna be tricky.
That would be a studio situation.
That thing's gonna break.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn quick.
Yeah, but like the guy from Cheap Trick, he has like 7 necks on the guitar. Something
What?
crazy like that.
Right.
What do you need all those necks for?
To break him.
There you go. Break one while you can still play on the
Yeah.
other.
Yes.
Set one on fire.
Toss one to the crowd. There you go. Well, Nikki, Ralph, thanks again so much for taking the time out to join us on Thanksgiving. It's
Of course.
been a true treat, a true holiday. It means a lot to all of us. And fans, they told you how to find them. I've always told everybody, don't just find them and follow them. Go pick up a CD, pick up a T-shirt, get something you can physically hold, because CDs aren't going to be around forever, but
That's
T-shirts
true.
will. So get yourself one and become KrashKarma yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Spread the love. Spread the love.
Yeah, become Karma Crashed. That'd be a good name for the fan club.
Nice.
Well, fans, it's all the time we got for today. But thank you again for tuning in. You know how to find them. I'm your host, Mike Stover, and we're out.